gonna be a good day. Hello, St. Rose. Thank you very much for tuning in to another episode of St. Rose Rocks. As the summer continues to get hotter, so is the music. And heating up this wonderful stream tonight, we have my good friend, producer Zech Allen, aka Tara Vex. How's it going, man?
Good. How are you? How's life?
I'm doing good. It's really good to see you. And I see that you're out on the porch of your new apartment. Congrats on the new place.
Thank you.
Feeling good? Settling in all right?
Yeah. You know, every day is a new project, you know, always something new. That's always something to do. And it doesn't help that stores and a mall is just, I can just walk. I don't have to drive. And that's great because getting out of the car is the best thing I can do for the environment, you know.
Amen. And a little exercise. And that's really cool that you got all that stuff by you. That makes the moving process a hell of a lot easier.
Oh, yes, it does.
Very nice. So, Zech, could you tell us about the first song that you're going to be showing us today?
So the first song that I will be showing you today is a song called Heart You. It's the second to last piece on my senior project. And enjoy.
All right. This is Heart You by TeraVex.
My heart's been aching so, but I've been here before, so why'd I ask for more? Just go and pull my heart right now. I've tried so hard to love, but I can't seem to get away from the feelings of the day. But I can see the little sparkle in your eyes. They had me paralyzed for you. I love you, I wanted you, I need you, but I do it all away. I love you, I wanted you, I need you, but I do it all away. Why you? I love you, I wanted you, I need you to get out my head. I love you, I wanted you, I needed you, but I threw it all away for you. Maybe I learned to be a bit more compassionate for you. Maybe I learned to love all the little things in life for you. For you. For you.
Well, Zech, you just put out a phenomenal senior project, Alexandra. Sounds great. I listened to it several times when it first came out, and I listened to it again leading up to this. absolutely great job with it. It's really cool to see the progression that you've made throughout college and seeing all the stuff that you've put together. You've released a lot of content prior to your senior project. Some people, their senior project is like, you know, their first big thing. You've had some other albums prior to this. How do you feel like all this time and culmination of things has brought you to this?
You know, it's really interesting that you say that, Connor, because if you've been following me for a while, or if this is your first time hearing of me, you can actually trace the point in which I've kind of grow out of because I started writing music in high school, right? And it all started with electronic, you know, dabbling, like, because I didn't really know how to play the piano or do any of that stuff. So all I knew is how to play the trumpet, and I didn't have a microphone. So I did a bunch of MIDI stuff, and all of it was electronic. What I write is usually what I've been listening to at the time. So you can hear through the progression of these albums, blossoming into kind of acoustic, real arrangements and stuff like that. And kind of just me blossoming as a songwriter, producer in a sense, you know? And what's interesting about that is a lot of the tunes, I'm going to jump the gun here for a second, a lot of the tunes on Alexandra, believe it or not, are actually tunes that are older than the album prior. It's crazy because a lot of those tunes on Alexandra were tunes that I sat on and I was like, I want to wait for the right time. I want to do these tunes justice because I felt like it was more than just me sitting and doing keyboard stuff. I wanted it to be bigger and better and, you know, be a huge collaboration of really great people and just a lot of love and change, you know?
I understand what you're saying about like giving it the time. As the growth happens, figure out the right time for it. That's really neat, and I was glad that you're able to do that. It's cool that you mentioned your prior release, Topaz, correct, was the name of it?
Yep.
The last one was Topaz. This is Alexandra. You really like the idea of gems for your album names.
Yeah.
Could you tell us where that inspiration came from?
I'm a huge fan of Steven Universe, and not outside of that. I wrote Amethyst before, which was my first album, before any Steven Universe influence. I just really liked geology, the study of rocks. Throughout the years, I just thought, like, you know, I want to like write albums based off the gemstones. Like they're kind of like Alexandrite is known for being like changing into different colors. And the theme of the album is change, or at least the concept of it. Every time I name an album, there's always like a ulterior name other than the gemstone it's based on.
I think that's really neat that you're able to incorporate that and put that kind of symbolism and imagery to the album, as well as the audio aspect of it as well. Kind of gives a visual representation of it at the same time. I think that's really neat. So you said with Alexandra, it's representing a lot of change. Would you mind going into some of the change specifically that you're trying to portray in this album?
Yeah, so Alexandra is originally a concept album, and the concept album is basically in the sense that there is no concept, and it's just a stylistic whiplash that I tried to blend cohesively sonically. And personally, I think I did, I think I made it work. And so I kind of just like blended these elements together, some of which are so stylistically different. Like it goes from a funk Motown tune to kind of like a Herbie Hancock jazz fusion. And like stuff like that, I kind of like tooled and made it work. I've kind of come to this point in my production career that I like to write whatever I feel like, and that's kind of, this album's kind of the poster child of that.
That's awesome that you got that kind of freedom and able to express yourself in that kind of way. That's fantastic. You said that you started out a lot more electronically in your early days of writing music, while this you're writing for more acoustic instruments, kind of working with a real band element now. Can you tell us about some of the influences you had musically and stylistically that led you to those decisions?
Yeah, I listen to a lot of I think it's LCD Sound System. That's the band. I like to listen to them a lot. And a lot of people on Newgrounds especially picked up on the mixing style choices, the instrument style choices. They're like, yeah, you remind me a lot of them. A lot of it is just the product of the circumstances, in the sense that when I wrote the electronic albums, I didn't know how to play piano or record anything. So a lot of it was just, I didn't know how to do anything. So that's what ended up happening. And that's the thing, is I had this drive to create art no matter what the circumstance was. And that's kind of how Alexandrite was, where it's I had the resources, I have the time, now I'm just going to do what I envision now that I have those abilities. That's just the power of, knowledge and college kind of gave to me, was to be able to make this album.
Amen. Now, obviously, the college gave so many wonderful resources and you had so many wonderful people working with you. And I want to get to the people in a moment. But what was it like when some of those resources were stripped away when we got into the COVID pandemic? What was that like, trying to still put together the album?
To be honest, it was like a part of me died. If I'm being melodramatic, I don't care. It's definitely how I felt. Because this project has been such a large passion to me for the last 4 years. Like, a lot of these songs are as new as 2 months ago I wrote, and some of them are as old as when I first started school. And I envisioned this project as soon as probably 2 or 3 months after I started school, to have it be basically taken away to what it could have been. It hurt, but it also gave me, my drive became stronger. Like, it just kind of pushed me forward even more. And even though I didn't have the resources mostly to complete it, I still was supplied an ample amount to kind of do my best. And everything other than drums was pretty much either recorded remotely or recorded on my little $20 mic from Amazon.
Overall, do you feel that you reached your vision, or somewhere at least pretty close?
I think I reached the best it could possibly be given the circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to do it again, I definitely would use different microphones, but given the circumstances, I think I did a pretty good job.
Nice. No, I think it sounds great sonically. You can tell that it's well produced and there's a lot of care that goes into it. That's one of the things that I find remarkable about your album. It's like, it does, to me, it sounds very professional. It sounds very clean and very well done. So very nice job when it comes to that, Zach. Now, in regard to the people, you had a lot of phenomenal musicians on this to help kind of elevate the stylistic level of this. And you got people of all different kinds of backgrounds when it comes to music as well. You have some rap, you have some jazz, you have some progressive, you have some fantastic players. Can you tell us about the people who you worked with and your decision making and to bring them into the album making process?
When I came into this album, I wanted to make it an album of collaboration, like I said before, but I wanted to also have it be like a bunch of my friends. Like, I chose them because I knew them all personally, and I hang out with them. A lot of them, I just knew they were right for the job. They knew what they were doing, and they're just incredibly great people and talented people and musicians and producers themselves. And I thought that, they all can bring something uniquely their own to the table. And that's what I really liked, is the way I chose to produce the album is I had multiple people play the same tune on the same instrument. So then when it came to like picking tracks to kind of choose for the take, I was able to choose which performance I preferred for the vibe, and that kind of made it their own. Like, this project was not only mine, but I feel like the people performing in it as well really brought their own style and really made the songs. I feel like they wouldn't be those songs without their elements in them, I think.
So Zach, can you tell us about the second song you're going to be showing us today?
Yeah, so the second song is actually the title track of my senior project, Alexandrite, and it features an incredibly lush sax solo by the wonderful Eric Charmello.
Very nice. One thing's for sure, it is very luscious, very good sax solo. So guys, this is Alexandrite by Tara Vex. Enjoy.
I feel like I've been here before, but I got what I needed.
So Zech, besides doing your own stuff and working on your own arrangements and producing, you like to do a lot of engineering and production work for other people. Can you tell me about a lot of the stuff that you've been doing with that?
Yeah, so I like just working with other people, whether it's songwriting, composition, arranging, sound recording. And I've been doing a lot of work with Cafe Lena. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're a wonderful folk venue in Saratoga Springs. Bob Dylan played there, Doc Severson's played there, a whole bunch of wonderful people. And I have the opportunity to work with them. I offer my services to anyone who asks. It could be anyone of musical interest levels, professional, beginner, anyone. As long as you want and have a drive to create something, I'm willing to work with you and do whatever we want, you know?
No, that's awesome. That's great to have that collaborative spirit and all the stuff that you'll be working on. And with the new apartment, you feel like you're getting your setup all together?
Talk about a problem for the apartment, right? I don't know if I want, because the living room has such a reverberance to it. It would make a great live room. And then my bedroom has a good rug in it, so it has a very dry sound, which would make it great for like an ISO booth. So I'm thinking about making like a little makeshift home studio in there, you know, just to kind of get some trumpet stuff for vocal or whatever people need or whatever I need.
No, that sounds like a great idea. God bless your neighbors, but no, that sounds like a great idea moving forward.
I feel sorry for them, but you know, it's weird. The isolation of each room is incredible. I barely hear any of my neighbors, and I guess in turn, they barely hear me.
Oh, wow, that's pretty good. You're pretty lucky in that regard. Nice.
Yeah.
So, no, you picked a good apartment to be able to be a musician in. There you go. So, Zech, this has been great to have you on. I really appreciate having you here. Thank you for talking about your album. Where can people go check out the album, check out you, and just go follow you in general?
Yeah, so I'm on, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'm on Newgrounds for those who, are real internet OGs and have been around since the mid 2000s. I have that. That's kind of been my, my child, my moon child in a sense. They're major streaming platforms. If you want to listen to music, I'm on everything. Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, whatever you name it, spin the wheel. Doesn't matter. It's on there. But yeah, give a follow, give a like, whatever you feel like. Share it with your friends if you enjoy it. I just like, sharing music with people, and if you enjoy it, well, that's why I do it.
Zech, again, thank you very much for being on. It was a great pleasure having you on. And again, congrats on the senior project and congrats on graduating. Thank
you. It's been a pleasure, Connor. And you know what? I couldn't ask for anything different.
Very nice. Guys, thank you very much for tuning into another episode of St. Rose Rocks. As always, I got to thank Student Development, Student Association, the college marketing team, and the college in general. If you have a talent, music, anything that you want to have showcased, let me know. Or if you have a special request of any artist you want to see, let me know. Again, you guys are the reason why St. Rose rocks. I'm glad we get to spend some time.